liberty, and justice for all. If you could just remain standing for a moment, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Jeff LeBlot, a member of the class of 2001 who passed away over the weekend. Thank you. And welcome. Good evening. Oh, I probably should have started with this. This is a concurrent meeting of the School Administrative Unit Number 12 School Board in the Londonderry School District. Today, August 12th, and we are starting at 7 o'clock. And with that, Maestro, if you'd come forward. Andy's going to regale us with what he learned in Chinese by reading a letter from the President of China. In Chinese, right, Andy?
You know, a bunch of us took a course at Derry Chinese School back in January, but you don't want to hear my Chinese, believe me. Yeah, I'm delighted to read this letter that we received. Let me just give a little quick background. We wrote a letter to the President of China, President Hu Jintao, expressed our condolences for the victims of the earthquake and also our support for the Olympics. And the students of the band signed it, and we sent along a donation that they could put towards education. And we were hoping to receive some sort of response from some level of government in China while we were there or whatever. But what we received a couple weeks later was a letter from President Hu Jintao, and I'd be honored to read that right at this time. It says, this came to me from the Chinese Embassy in Washington, and it says, "Dear Mr. Andrew Susi and members of the delegation of the Londonderry High School Marching Band, I read your letter carefully and was moved by the warm and kind feelings expressed in the letter. Thank you for your heartfelt condolences to people affected by the Sichuan earthquake in China, and for your sincere donation to children in the quake zone. As you are aware, the earthquake disaster has claimed many precious lives and caused tremendous losses. In the face of the disaster, the Chinese government and people launched a courageous rescue and relief campaign with strong unity and perseverance. There have emerged many young heroes of your age in the fight against the earthquake. People of the United States and many other countries offered us valuable support and assistance, and we are deeply touched by your friendship. Major success has been achieved in the initial stage of the rescue and relief endeavor, and recovery and reconstruction work is now well underway. I am confident that with the joint efforts of all the Chinese people and strong support of the international community, people in the affected areas will rebuild their homes at an early date. During your trip to China, you also brought with you good wishes for the Beijing Olympic Games. To stage a successful Olympic Games is a long-cherished dream of the Chinese people. It is also an aspiration shared by people around the world. In just 12 days, we will witness this exciting moment. The Chinese people will share the joy of this grand event with people of other countries and let the vision of one world, one dream become our common pursuit. Young people represent the future of a country and the future of the world. Mutual understanding and friendship between the young people of China and the United States is an important foundation for good relations between our two countries. I hope the young friends of China and the United States will strengthen exchanges, learn from each other, increase friendship, and make greater contribution to promoting the friendly relations between China and the United States and to creating an even better tomorrow for the world. I sincerely wish you progress in school, good health, and happiness. Please also convey my best wishes to your teachers and parents, signed Hu Jintao, President, the People's Republic of China, which is a very, very nice thing to receive. Now, can I just explain a couple other things?
Absolutely.
All right, I just want to share that. I've got the phone call from the Chinese Embassy on Wednesday. I got the letter faxed the letter was faxed that day, and we received it by FedEx the next day. Friday morning, on my voicemail was a voicemail from Mark Oswald and Joe Oswald. And it says, "Andy, we're in Des Moines, Iowa, and we were watching ABC News, and on a ticker tape at the bottom of the screen, it says, relations between China and the United States may have warmed up a bit because of a high school group from New Hampshire." And that was, and then, so I was talking to my brother about this, and he said, "Let me Google it." And he Googled Hu Jintao's letter to ban, and I think like 12 sites came up. It was really interesting. Well, a friend of mine, Richard Liu, in China, there's Dr. Richard Liu and his son. This was his son, who had emailed me that he was watching the news, and in China on CCTV is China Central, CCTV 9, he said at the top of the hour, he said they were reading this letter talking about a letter of Hu Jintao to a band. He turned up the volume and he said it was ours, and they read the whole letter on the news. So these sentiments have been shared around the world. So I just thought it was something we never expected. We certainly never expected to hear from the highest level of government in China. So I thought it was kind of a neat thing to share. And so anyways, that's basically it. So
Well,
one
Andy,
more nice thing.
Thanks
to
so much. I mean,
experience.
you guys did a great job, and, thanks for bringing them all back safely and giving them the opportunity. And,
Thank you.
We've said it over and over again, and I suppose we'll keep saying it. We're truly blessed to have guys like you here,
Well,
working with our kids.
This was a good group effort, and I think we represented our state in a first-class manner, which is what we
I
wanted
think
to
you
do.
represented the state and the country, quite frankly.
And they had a good time.
And they had a
And we
good time.
Thank you.
Exactly. Andy, thanks so much. Is there any other public comment? Nope. Okay.
George?
Yep. Sorry.
Just a couple of quick things, because I know this is of major import at this time of year. Bus route publication dates, so people know. The Derry News will publish the bus routes on the 20th of August, the Londonderry Times on the 21st. It'll be on the school district webpage on the 15th, and also very shortly it'll be on londonderrynewhampshire.net, right? Is that so? That will be available to members of the community if you're interested in the bus routes. Also, one other quick thing, and we'll give a full report at a subsequent board meeting, but it appears the net fund balance unaudited at year end is $532,573. So we had promised 500 and we're over by about $32,000, so that's good news.
Thanks, Nate.
You're welcome.
Look forward to that full report. And with that, I'll take a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, and before we vote, just a reminding, our meetings coming up are Monday, August the 25th at 6 p.m. That is a building tour of the North School, Londonderry Middle School, Londonderry High School. Those tours are open to the public. Anybody who wants to join us, please feel free. Regular meeting on August the 26th, and a continuation of the building tours on August 27th. Again, that's 6 p.m. at Matthew Thornton, Moose Hill, and on to South School. Again, that's open to the public. September 2nd, the regular meeting here, and September 16th, the regular meeting here. So the consent agenda, all those in favor? Mary 3-0. And moving along to committee reports. CJ,
Hello.
I feel like you're so far away now. We got nobody here.
No, I was about to say the same thing. All right, well, much report, but the Student Council Executive Board met with Ms. Sullivan on July 30th to plan for freshman orientation on August 26th, as well as discuss new ideas for the upcoming year. And the board also met on August 6th for further planning. And coming up this Saturday, in conjunction with the Student Council, the town will be putting on a teen concert at the Town Commons for Old Home Days under the name of Applestock. The concert will feature local bands and invites all the teens of Londonderry to attend, and the refreshments being sold at the concert benefit all the student organizations at LHS.
Great. Thanks, CJ. And the Applestock information should be out on the Old Home Day website. So anybody wants more information, check it out there. John,
Yeah.
got anything?
Oh, you mean liaison
Liaison
reports?
Yes.
Well, there was something about budget committees and Red Cross and tornadoes, but I didn't really catch all of it.
Okay. I think if you look up in the newspaper, you might find some information. Steve?
Just search that 1,200 hits.
Wow. 1,210 hits.
Oh, that actually was the Chinese, but that's all.
Sorry. Jay.
Um,
Not for Jay. That's going to be a long night.
As the Old Home Day unofficial liaison, who answers the home telephone, good morning or afternoon, Old Home Day, this time of year, I handed out the T-shirts to all the members that will be participating in Old Home Day from the school board and to the superintendent, and thank you to Old Home Day for that.
Yes, we appreciate it. Nate, you're going to model now, right?
No, because he just got his camera out, and
Oh,
there's no
okay.
way I'm gonna take my shirt off on live TV.
We're all grateful for that.
It is the summer, isn't it? This is kind of like summer stock. It's just a little more relaxed and the reminder on Old Home Day, which is this week. There's quite a few activities. The press is putting out quite a bit of information. I know that the Londonderry Times, as well as the Derry News, has a special guide for Old Home Days, so make sure that you pick those issues up and take a look. And I understand the Union Leader will be writing an article every day about the Old Home Day events, so make sure you grab the local Union Leader too if you don't get it at your home already. The Wednesday night is senior night, and that will be tomorrow. Thursday night is kids night on the Common. Friday night, fireworks right over at the high school. The police fire and softball game is not on Friday as it usually is. They're going to do it on Saturday in the afternoon at 1:30 to see if they can get more attendance. Early in the morning, while people are setting up, the Presbyterian Church is serving breakfast. And during that time, there's a road race, the 5K road race that occurs. Soon following that, the parade, and then everyone pours into the Common. The afternoon events, we heard about the Apple Stock event, as well as that's when the softball game will be for the police. On Sunday, there's a Christian picnic in the afternoon that's going to be on the Common. And from what we understand, because everybody's been in the house for 2 weeks now with the rain, the organizers are expecting a record 17,000 or so people over the next 5 days to participate in the event because the weather does appear to be turning. And other than showers on Friday and Saturday with only a 20 to 30% chance, it looks like everybody will finally get out of the house. So that's it, and I didn't do anything with the schools at all.
I gotta admit, it is interesting calling the house at 9 o'clock at night and getting, hi, Old Home Day.
Good evening, Old Home Day. Yeah.
Thanks. And let's see, where are we? IDEA
Deliberation, I
grant.
think.
So Kim, Jill, come on down.
OldHomeday.com.
Good evening.
Good evening. I feel bad. I'm almost the one bringing us back to something kind of serious.
Well, I'm sure I'll find some way for us to steer away from that.
Okay.
I think the word is veer.
Good evening. I am here tonight to ask the board's approval for the Londonderry School District to accept the federal IDEA grant allocation. We have been told to expect a allocation of $1,037,105 for our IDEA grant money, along with $20,074.30 for our preschool grant money. This money that we would take into the district covers salaries for district employees, and any leftover money, which we don't anticipate having, but if we do, for example, if one of our assistants that is covered in the IDEA grant had sick days and there was money unused, we would then request that that money be spent on evaluation materials prior to the end of the school year.
Okay, thanks. Any questions for?
Nate, did we have a anticipated figure for this?
Yeah, the figure that you have there is the anticipated figure that we had in revenues.
Okay.
Okay, and what it does, this money is separate from our bottom line figure, so it just shows up as in and out revenue is really what it is.
Okay, cool.
Steve?
I had a little flag went up when you said spend the money before the end of the year. I think what you meant by that is you would look to spend the federal money before the end of the year on programs that you were going to be doing the following year anyways.
The money has to be spent by June 30th of 2009, for example, this year,
Right.
for programs that we would be using this year. So you can't use the IDEA money for FY10 for example. We have to apply and let the Department of Education know what we are using the money for. So if we are anticipating any leftover money, we have to notify the Department of Ed, request that money be used for a different purpose, in this case, evaluation materials, that then we would be using prior to the end of the upcoming school year.
Thanks.
Thanks. And you need a motion, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
You have the sheet in front of you? You have the dollar figures?
yeah, we need a
Oh,
motion.
okay.
Only because I see you.
All right, move to accept a IDA Part B funds in the total of $1,037,105 and no cents.
And also the preschool funds?
The preschool funds of $20,074.30.
What he said.
Get that,
Okay,
Mary?
also the preschool funds of $20,074.30.
Thanks, got a motion?
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Aye.
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 3-0, Mary. There you go.
Thank you.
Start the cash flowing.
Just like a
Thank you very much. It is,
Aye,
it is. Aye,
There's only
aye.
three of us here. It's not the same.
It's more like
not the
aye, aye,
same.
aye,
It's just
but
not the
okay.
same. Ben and Ron, you're missed. I don't know. Thank you, ladies.
I'm still here, I think.
Oh, you are? Okay. Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Well, you can jump to the nursing policies if you want.
That not yet?
Well, actually, before
Why
we
don't we
do
just-
that,
Let's talk about this.
I'd like to suggest that we table the items under 6.2, student discipline policies, including breathalyzer policy, youth breathalyzer, and breath test decision flow chart, because there's been enough discussion and differing votes on the board over that I think that it would be better to have the full body here to make the final determination on this.
Yep, Steve.
Would just ask the question, is there anyone from the public here for that portion of the hearing? Okay.
Okay, so
This concludes the entertainment portion of our show.
Nate, we'll just move that to the next,
I'll put it on the agenda for the 26th.
thank you. Yeah, whatever the next regular one is. Okay, with that,
George,
yes,
you
sorry.
gotta take a vote.
Oh, we got to take, all those in favor of tabling till
Aye.
26th? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, Mary.
Needed a second, I seconded it, so.
Kind of had to be that way. Okay, let's see, 6.3, nursing policies. Welcome back.
The nursing policies have been discussed several
Yeah.
times. There really were no questions raised at either of the two previous sessions. The board may want to entertain any questions from the public if they so like. I would suggest the board may also want to vote on block on nursing policies if there are no issues on any particular policy.
Okay, thank you. And is there any discussion further from the board? Steve, John?
I'm just
Okay.
vamping for 1 second here
Okay,
because
take your time. Let
we
me go to
were,
public
we
then.
were putting in a policy in the AED, we were adding to the AED policy wording that basically said the idea of waiting for a higher trained person shouldn't be taken to mean that a bystander shouldn't act immediately. That was included, I think.
EBBAA?
Yeah. Now, let's see.
Here you go, John.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. The employees, yeah, great. That,
Okay.
that was just what I wanted to check on. Thanks, Mary.
Any comments on the nursing policies for the district from the public? Okay, we'll bring it back.
Where are you guys on the webpage?
The nursing webpage?
The nurses, I think it's building by building. There are nursing, there's a nursing page for each building. I don't think any of them, I think the middle school one is probably the most up-to-date one, because we have one of the most computer savvy nurses in the district in the middle school. And so she's looked at it. I think we're under discussion with the IT department about how to best utilize those pages for whether we want to do blanket stuff for the whole district or break it down into the elementary, middle, high levels, just because our functioning at those levels is different in the way that we approach issues that come up in the buildings.
I know that we've talked to the public about how they could have gone to the website to get these policies and find out what everyone was up to, and that's the reason that I asked, so.
Yeah, I thought they would have been posted on the school board.
No, they
as
are.
review.
They are,
Okay.
but now we're done,
Right.
so.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
let's assume we're done,
Right.
and this passes, then they disappear, and I was just wondering where that knowledge base was,
Right, well,
website.
the nurses will be looking at some of that stuff this fall during their monthly meetings. So I'll make sure it gets on the agenda for a decision piece on that.
Thanks.
Okay, if I got a motion on the nursing policies.
I'll make a
En masse.
block motion for all of the nursing policies under 6.3 from A through K for third reading for adoption.
I'll second that.
And I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0, Mary?
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Now I think you're
We
done.
appreciate your support.
Oh, thank you for everything you guys do. Okay, moving right along. Acceptable use policy, 6.4. That's IIAE, staff, third reading for adoption. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? I guess not.
Move
Okay,
to
Nate,
accept.
did you want to say something?
Sorry.
No,
Okay,
nothing to say.
and we've got a motion.
Second, IAE, third reading for adoption.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mary, 3-0. Moving to 6.5 on the agenda, policy CI, temporary administrative arrangements.
As I put on in the background data, this is only for one reading, as is not the actual policy. We're submitting it now because of changes in the administration.
Okay.
The policy itself will be readopted at the board's reorg meeting on March 24th, 2009, along with other policies.
When I looked at this, I wasn't exactly sure what I was reading. It was,
Well,
King for the day.
okay.
pardon?
King for the day.
Yeah, basically. So what this basically shows is, for
Might have to
instance,
explain
the
that.
district, if I'm out of the district, next one in line is marked.
Oh, so this is your order of succession.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's who we yell at if Nate's not around.
that's
Right.
right.
It's successive, like if,
And
you know,
same thing
Carol's
applies-
away or
Yeah, same thing applies to all the schools. So,
Zach breaks a PC or something.
Yeah. there you go.
Okay, so I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to accept the temporary administrative specifications.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Mary, 3-0. And with that, at 7:24, Mr. Blunt, come on down.
Oh, that's the slide guy. Don't get your hopes up.
No, I was assured
Well, there's no slide.
Yeah.
that the slide presentation has been shifted to the young Mr. Loy.
I may be old school, but slides and biology don't go together for me.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This evening, you'll find in your board packet from Diane Malley, the curriculum coordinator at the high school level, is a biology science pilot. During the course of the 2007-2008 school year, as part of our strategic plan, the high school science department investigated a variety of textbooks in anticipation of replacement of the core biology text. The current text is dates back 10 years at this time, and the request this evening is to proceed with an inquiry-based textbook through a pilot phase, which would be at no cost to the district during the course of this school year, just to get a feel for how this textbook works with our curriculum and matches up with the New Hampshire state standards. The program is called Insights in Biology. It's put out by the Kendall Hunt Publishing Company. Again, the high school is just requesting a pilot going into this school year. There would be no cost. Should the program prove to be a strong one, then we would be in a position for consideration on purchasing the program. The student edition currently at today's rate costs approximately $72 a text. So this evening, we're just asking for your approval to begin this pilot for the 08-09 school year.
Thanks. More, any questions? Steve?
I notice you have 5 publishers here. I mean, we can consider, you have 5 vendors that participated.
That's correct.
What was, you mentioned $72 for the Kendall textbook. What were the other textbooks? What was the range?
My guess, Steve, without having those figures in front of me, they probably range, based on what I know of a biology textbook, probably anywhere from $65 up into the $90, $95 range. So this is probably toward the lower end of as far as costs for a biology text.
And the life of the book's 10 years, so $10 a year per student.
Typically, we, based on the policy that you approved the past year, we use the figure of 10 years. So, yep.
Are the books that you're looking to replace then from 99, 98?
The current copyright is 1999, and we use the Holt series textbook in biology at this time.
Mark, can you just give me a thumbnail of what criteria you used to reach the decision for this particular vendor or this particular series of books?
There's a couple of things that I'm sure the science department looked into. First of all, they looked whether or not this biology text met many of the major objectives and goals of the new science benchmarks put out by the New Hampshire Department of Education, which were recently released a few years back, whether or not they have a strong correlation to national standards. The committee also, on my conversations with Diane, they were also looking for a strong literacy component because that is a strong emphasis at our high school level. Problem solving, critical thinking, inquiry. So they really were looking for those kinds of things. They were also looking for the some of the technology pieces that would bring us more up to date in this field.
I just have a couple more questions. How are you going to measure the success of the pilot? How are you going to know whether you were successful or not?
Well, I think there's a couple of things we could do as we go through. They could, assess using the program's assessment. We could also, since we do the Iowa assessments at grade at the high school level, we could also look at that data as a comparison. But 1 year is just a snapshot, so it makes
Right.
it makes it difficult.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
But the Iowas is kind of,
It's kind of our benchmark.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'd be curious to see how you're going to
Okay.
figure that out at some point before we make the decision whether we're going to go with this product. 'Cause I'll be
Okay.
asking the same
We
question
certainly
in, say,
can, George.
6 months or 8 months or whatever.
Absolutely.
Make a suggestion that during the budget process,
We could.
what the high school will have the science department do, what Diane do, is present an update report showing criteria that was used for whether or not they want to move forward with the purchase or they want to go in a different direction. So
We can certainly flesh that out further in the text initiative template, which we have. So that lays it out in much more detail as far as what we would be doing.
At the same time, just for another point of data, I'm just imagining 10 years as a high school textbook is a pretty hard life.
It is, and we have textbooks at our high school, which I'm sure the principal behind me can verify that we have texts that are in use much longer than that at our high school level. But it is, you're right. It is a hard life on a textbook. But 10 years is the standard.
Thanks.
And then the last thing is, I'm assuming Sean's looked at the software and it's compatible with systems, including the new PCs that we're putting in the computer labs? Yeah, cool. So, that was everything I could think of.
Okay.
And you need a motion, Nate?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
I make a motion to move ahead with the high school biology pilot project for new textbooks.
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
All righty. Thanks, Mark.
Good.
Mark, you're up again.
And there we
Yeah.
are. Mark, hi, welcome.
Moving on to elementary summer school, this year's program, as well as student progress this year. This is prior to Ben's presentation, which
Steve's
will
waiting for
follow
your
mine.
slides, that's all I'm saying.
Yes, I
getting
could see that. You're anyway, this makes our 4th year running the elementary summer school program. We had 82 youngsters who were in our program this year. It was held for the first time all in the month of July, which made it kind of nice. Our administrators, Carol, Rich, Linda, as well as our teachers that we had in the program, they did another outstanding job, particularly in the identification of our students, working with them. All 3 of the schools plus Moose Hill, we probably sent out more than 400 letters again this year. We had a 70% return rate on our parent survey, which I'll kind of give some of the comments that they mentioned. Overall, the comments were excellent. We had a circulation in the Matthew Thornton Library during our summer school of over 1,046 this year. And my hat's off to Penny Webster, who helped us with that endeavor this year. But let me just dive in a little bit on the second page on the survey for you folks. Basically, the notification and registration was favorable from parents. One of the comments made under the comments, I received registration information later than desirable. I felt like my planning for my son's other activities was on hold until I had confirmation about summer school. I think that's probably one area we could easily address as we go into planning next year by as soon as they submit their registration information, we can easily get a notification out saying, yes, we got your information and your child is set for the program for the summer.
Can we do that online? Did an online notification? If
We
not, can we
usually
look into
do, we usually have done letters, but we can do that,
Online may
George.
just be easier.
No, definitely, we can certainly
A little
consider
quicker,
that.
so.
That would be faster. We did have some online registrations come in
Mhm.
from our website.
Yeah, I'd like
so-
to see if we could do that.
Yeah, we can certainly do that. Going on under scheduling, program, and communications, one of the comments made by parents was, I would recommend that the program be held longer in the summer than what we currently offer of the 4 weeks. The pickup and drop-off, while the 2 questions were very favorable, the comments were a little bit different, but I think some of the biggest concerns was Mammoth Road construction and painting. It seemed like there were folks out there right when there was drop-off and pickup, and some of the equipment at the back of Matthew Thornton, the dumpster, and some of the trailers back there was noted by some of the parents. Going on to comments on schedule,
But before
program,
you-
and communications.
Before you do,
Yeah, go ahead.
there's just one here that says, very crowded with the summer recreation program and road work going on.
Yes.
I think it's interesting to note that during the summer, that our school property is very crowded. and I appreciate that we're using it
Yes, I
as much as we
appreciate
can.
it. too.
Right, yeah, it's a great use of the resource, so.
So, also under that same item on programs and communications, some of the parents noted that communication is there every day with the teachers. When you pick up your child, the teachers are so nice, they give you the time if you need it. Again, there was a comment, it'd be nice if the program was offered or extended into August. An issue on scheduling, he said, we made this summer schedule work for us. I don't think any schedule would work completely for everyone. There were some issues about both parents working too underneath there. Regarding the summer school library services with our program, while we go to the Leach Library during the summer, thank you for having the Matthew Thornton School Library open for this program and letting us take out books to read. Our thanks too to Mark Oswald, who provided book bags for our elementary summer school students this year again. He's generously donated bags for our kids for the last 3 years. And then some of the final thoughts they had mentioned from parents. This program, in my opinion, is one of the hidden gems of the Londonderry school system. My daughter has attended 3 out of the last 4 years. Class size was ideal. Thank you for having this. The program was well organized. Both of my son's teachers were exceptional and very accommodating. I'm completely satisfied with the services my child received. And the last one, which I would credit the district office staff, particularly Beverly at the front. When we originally received our child's scheduled time of 10:30, I called the office to have his class changed to 9. The district office staff were very helpful and changed his class time right away. I got a call back within the hour. I was very pleased with their quick response. The last part of this packet is just some pre- and post-assessment results. It's on the 3rd and 4th page from the last part of the packet. I just gave you a snapshot of each of the sections of the classes that were offered and the times that they were offered. The math classes had a pre and post test every week during the 4 weeks. It gives you an idea of progress that was made. The NAs was some of the NAs in there. The teachers decided that they wanted to do some reteaching. They kind of went over some of the same concepts and again tested out in another week. And on the reading classes, there were pre and post tests. There was one pre-test and one post-test at the end of the program. Depending on the types of kids that we had in the sections, some of the testing used dibbles, some used the summer reading program that we used, or a combination thereof. So you can see some of that as well. But I am very pleased with those results. And then the last section of this packet is just a report from Penny Webster on the library services that were offered in the program. So, do you have any questions on the elementary summer program?
How many students qualified and how many students took advantage?
Let me try to understand what you're asking. Are you asking how many?
Students did you offer it to?
Okay, we sent out,
Accepted.
I would guess, and I'm hoping they're nodding behind me, I think we sent out around 400 to 450 letters above the 4 schools.
They're all going no.
Oh, they are,
They're
okay.
kind of circular.
I thought.
Got a lot of support there, Mark.
So 450 and about 100 took advantage.
Approximately 85 this year took advantage. So, again, our numbers going throughout the history of the program during the 4 years has ranged from this year's number of 85 up to 110. We always kind of stay within this range. So
Well, it seems to be benefiting a lot of kids, so that's important. I mean, it's been just great comments, so, Mark, thanks again for running that.
I think Mr. Loy, who's coming up, will be able to show you the progress this program has had with our elementary kids.
Look out, Steve, here it comes.
A request that
Understand
was
he's been in
made
training.
by this board, or by the board last year when we gave the report was, I believe it came from some of the members, was, well, how does this program, what are the results of this program over time? So I've asked Mr. Loy to, I counted on him to help me put together what I think will give you that answer tonight.
All right, so here I go. Basically, Mark and I, we worked together on gathering some data on the summer school program, and we collected data from the summer of 2005, summer of 2006, and summer of 2007. Now, just to give the viewers at home an overview of the summer school program, the school district has provided a tuition-based elementary school program since 2005. Not that the district didn't have a summer school program before 2005. It's just that it was mostly grant-based or grant-funded before 2005. The program assists students in maintaining or building their academic skills in reading and or math. And students are eligible to participate in reading and math in the same summer school program. So students are recommended by classroom teachers based on their classroom performance that school year and based on assessment data. And it is not mandatory. So students who are recommended do not have to attend the summer school program. The purpose of gathering this data and providing you with the summary is to determine if the summer school program is effective in assisting the students in maintaining or increasing their academic skills. For the purposes of this summary, we use the Iowa Test of Basic Skills data, and Mark and I had a nice discussion about what type of scores to use to determine the student's growth over time. And Mark was very helpful in helping me with the standard scores because they were the most accurate as opposed to LPR, NPR, or even grade equivalent. So we didn't do multi-year comparisons because from one summer school session to the next, the students may have changed. So some students don't require a second dose of summer school. So we could not do a multi-year comparison. So the students were compared to themselves after attending summer school and one full year of school. So for example, let's say Johnny A went to summer school in the summer of 2005. We took his assessment data from the end of that school year and compared it to the assessment data the following year after summer school and one full year of schooling. We broke the students' progress into three categories: students who made a full year's growth, students who made some growth but not a full year's growth, and students who did not make any growth. So for summer school math, summer of 2005, the students here that you'll see are, I'm giving you an overall picture. So I'm combining the students from the end of first, the end of second, end of third, and end of fourth. And basically, we track them over that entire year, and the data shows that 50% made a full year's growth, while 47% made some growth, and 3% made no growth. And that 3% actually represents just one student who did not make growth after summer school and one full year of school. So 97% of those students who attended summer school math made growth over that year. And in summer school reading, 100% of those students made growth that year, with 74 making a full year's growth and 26 making some growth.
How does that compare to the population in general?
That's a very good question. The comparison with the general population, I would have to say that students in the general population do very well on the Iowa test. We have historically done very well on the Iowa test, and the students historically have made very strong gains year after year after year. So this actually is very consistent with how the students in the general population are doing.
Thank you.
And here, the following year, in the summer school session of 2006, in the summer school math program, 100% of the students made a year's growth, or actually 60% made a full year's growth, while 40% made some growth. So that gives us a total of 100. And in summer school reading of that summer, 72% made a full year's growth, while 26% made some growth, and 2% making no growth, and that does represent one student. And the final year of data that we used was 2007, and in summer school math program, 47% made a full year's growth, while 50 made some growth, and 3% making no growth, and that also does represent one student. And in reading, 67% made a full year's growth, while 31% made some growth, and 2% making no growth, and that also, again, is one student. So overall, the data shows that the math program, after 3 summer school sessions, I combined all of those students and their data, and I averaged everything out, and 53% of students made a full year's growth in the math program. 46% made some growth, and 1% did not make any growth. In the reading program, 71% of the students made a full year's growth, 28 made some growth, and 1% did not make any growth. So for both the math and the reading program, 99% of the students who attend the summer school program for math and reading do make growth after attending summer school and 1 year of school. So in conclusion, the school district summer school program has been effective in assisting students maintaining and building upon their academic skills, and the school district should continue to provide this service to assist the students in their learning. Questions from the board?
Do we know why 78% of the parents choose not to send their children to summer school when it's offered to them? I mean, there was some excellent comments in this from the parents whose students went.
Absolutely.
I hope the press got a copy of this, because there was
There's some
really
good
interesting
information.
tidbits, and particularly in the comments. And I just wonder if it's because, that both parents work and they don't have transportation, or if
I
it's
think some of that
cost, or
I think some of it, what you just said, Steve, is true. I think both the parents are working. They're not able to find maybe a relative or extended family member to bring them in, or a neighbor. I think that's an issue. Cost, cost, I don't believe so, because the reason why I say that is I think the principals do a very good job when we advertise this. If there are families in need, that they know that we'll either cover partial or full costs. So I have had comments, and I'm sure Carol, Linda, and Rich have issues on transportation. But again, we're trying to be cost effective on this program too for the taxpayer. So I know those comments we have heard consistently over the last few years.
It's just, Ben just showed it worked, and if the
Definitely does.
people at home saw that and said, hey, that works, just wondering why they didn't, why they couldn't participate.
Do the principals have any other comments they've heard from parents? Okay. I know some of the other issues have been CDC. Some of the churches run programs in the summer. There's a conflict there, or summer camps or family vacations. So,
Anything else? Ben, thanks a lot. That was great. It's great
you,
information.
Ben.
Mark, thank you. All right. Well, Mark,
yes.
welcome back.
Thank you. I'll be quick on this last one. K-12 Summer Enrichment Report. I'll just, the information that was in your packet, I'll just read it for you as well as some of the viewers at home. I'm pleased to report to the school board that 8 of the district's self-supporting summer enrichment programs were offered. Camp Kindergarten, offered by Moose Hill teacher Stephanie Wright, was a popular addition as enrollment reached its maximum of 12 students in session 1 and 10 students in session 2. For the second year in a row at the elementary level, the Teddy Bear Club was offered by Matthew Thornton reading teacher Vicki Stickney. Because of Mrs. Stickney's entrepreneurial spirit in contacting parents through flyers and phone calls, she exceeded her maximum in both sessions, but gladly took in all students. In session 1, the Teddy Bear Club had 20 students, while session 2 had 13 students. New offerings by Vicki Stickney included Many Marvelous Mice and Hogwarts Homework. The one session of Many Marvelous Mice had 9 students with a maximum enrollment of 12, while the 3 sessions of Hogwarts Homework had a total enrollment of 27 out of a maximum of 36 students. Charcoal drawing offered by Matthew Thornton teacher Thea Meyer enjoyed an enrollment of 7 students with a capacity for 8. Enrichments offered for middle school students included piano keyboarding with Londonderry Middle School teacher Sarah Pope. While it just missed minimum enrollment last summer, Sarah was able to maximize enrollment this summer, which was capped at 8 students. LMS science teacher Jim Paiva provided students the opportunity to learn more about the world of photography. This popular offering had 10 students, exceeding its maximum enrollment of 8. And lastly, LMS science teacher Cindy Hirsch offered the hands-on nature by design enrichment to 14 students. 2 summer enrichments were offered by staff at Londonderry High School. However, neither program reached the minimum enrollment figures. In its second year, the district offered 23 enrichment programs from elementary to the high school level, compared to 16 last year. For 2008, we had a total enrollment of 129 students for 8 programs, compared to 37 students for 2 programs last year. Interest was again high among K-12 staff in submitting program proposals. Once enrichment programs were approved by the school board this past spring, a press release was issued, brochures were distributed to parents, Leo 21 advertised the enrichment programs, and offerings and registration were posted on the district website. Teachers also improved their own marketing efforts by contacting parents and discussing with students the summer enrichments. In your board packet this evening, I've included the 2008 summer enrichment brochure that was distributed, as well as the final enrollments of all of the programs that we offered. I'd like to extend my thanks to our district office support staff for taking calls, processing registrations, to our teaching staff who submitted as well as ran enrichment offerings, to our administration for supporting the programs, and to our school board for their support as well as their patience in watching the program make further strides in growth and offerings. Are there any questions?
Mark, did you say last year it was 37?
37.
And this year was 129?
We went to 129.
That's huge.
That's huge.
That is huge. That's great. Any other questions from the board, comments? Mark, thanks again, and thanks to all the teachers and folks that make this happen. It's just
You bet.
yet another asset to the community, so.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Corey.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to come up and talk about Londonderry Middle School summer programs. We offered a great summer program this year again for students seeking opportunities in accelerated math. We offered 2 sections for students looking to move to the next level in our math program. We offered 12 students an opportunity to qualify for algebra at grade 8 and 11 students a chance to qualify for pre-algebra at grade 7. Students just completed their final exam on August 7th, and we're using this week to communicate with parents. Mrs. Fournier ran both sections. She did a terrific job. The students take the same final exams as they do during the school year to ensure their placement. They need to get over a 90 on that final exam in order to qualify for the program. It's great to see, middle school kids, 23 of them coming in the building every day and challenging themselves to go up to the next level. I can tell you that the vast majority of the students were successful, and we are in communication with them to adjust their schedule to make changes there. On the second point, first of all, I need to thank the board and the superintendent and Mark, because with about 2 weeks to go in the school year, we were informed by our neighboring school district that they would not be able to take our students this year for summer school to retain or regain their credit. So through the hard work of the guidance department and calling all the parents and talking to Nate and working with the school board, we were able to put together a summer school program for these students. We had 14 students who were offered the ability to regain their credit in mathematics, and 7 students who were able to regain their credit in language arts. The comments from the teachers were very positive. They felt that since we were actually working with our benchmarks and our students and kind of knowing them beforehand, that prior to the students even stepping into that classroom, our summer school teacher knew who they were, knew what the deficiencies were from their regular classroom teachers, and were able to tailor the program. I'm very pleased to say that all students regain that credit and are moving on to the next grade level. It's a program that I would be bringing back up during the budget season because I think it's something that we should definitely continue. I think the parents appreciated being able to drive to their local school, come in to faces they knew, to administrators they knew. So I think it was very, very successful. And again, I'd like to thank Mrs. Fournier, Mrs. Williams, and Mrs. Robinson for all their work to make the program a success, because in Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Robinson's case, again, they were kind of behind the 8 ball with planning and everything, and they rallied and did an exceptional job, and I think our kids got a great experience. At this point, I'll take any questions.
Andy, did we have more success in Londonderry than we did when we sent the kids to outside the district?
We
Or
had
the kids were
more-
offered the program outside the district, I guess.
We had greater success with kids taking the program. When it was outside our district, transportation became an even bigger issue. So I think the majority of kids who went to the neighboring districts did well.
Okay.
But usually when they didn't pass, the primary thing was attendance, because it's a very strict attendance policy.
Okay.
I don't think I can't recall a student missing a day. And these are kids who are challenged during the year, but when you get into a section of, 9, 10 kids, and the teacher really knows who you are and understands exactly what you're trying to work on, because we focused on the critical points that these children had missed. And again, that's a credit to the teachers who had them during the year to be able to identify that. So we were starting ahead of the game. And I would say after a couple years, I could really answer that question from a curriculum standpoint. From just a transportation standpoint, I think it worked out much better.
Thanks. Yep, John?
You mentioned bringing this up again during the budget process, which for me raises the question, could you remind me what the cost of this was to the district?
Well, we charged each student $125. There were scholarships and financial aid offered for those children who struggled. But what we did was we used the funds that were allocated for remedial math that we normally use during the school year. So the funds were already budgeted. I think what I meant to say was that we would probably align them more correctly with what they'll be covering. Okay? So you're looking at a teacher being paid at the hourly rate for this over the 2 hours per day. And they get, I think it was 8 hours of prep time over the 2 days prior to the course beginning. So I think the cost was probably a wash, but I think it's just something that I would like to make much clearer in the budget, that what is summer school and what is the remedial program during the school year.
Oh, I agree with you. I just wanted to raise the point that although it may need to be discussed during the budget period, this is something that general tax revenues weren't going to support.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. It's a fee-based program.
Andy, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Excuse me. And Jay and Greg. You afraid to come by yourself, Jay? You got to bring Greg.
He's got to get his feet wet sometime with this.
I was going to say, he's the muscle.
That's right.
I was going to say protection, actually, but
Thank you.
He knows. He understands. Good
Well, good
evening,
evening.
gentlemen.
but I'm likely
evening to
I'm
you.
likely to make it to my car tonight.
Some of the material that we're going to present is somewhat dated because we included the spring semester results of adult education and world studies with the GED updates, summer school courses and enrollment, and the LIFT program and Alvin program. So just a quick recap. On June 4th, we celebrated 22 graduates who earned their adult ed high school diplomas, and it marked the 8th graduating class in adult education. 15 of those 22 plan to attend college this fall, and that's consistent with the last 2 graduating classes that we've had, when 23 and 29 students graduated, respectively. 45 of the 50 other adult ed students passed their classes and earned credit. Just a quick reference here. And looking at the kids, again, a lot of these statistics continue to be consistent. 88 out of 88 classes taken and finished reflect passing grades. So students are not flunking these classes based on academic challenges or not doing the work. Again, it's absenteeism that continues to sink the very small percentage we have who don't make it. 47 out of 50 students passed and earned credit in at least one class. That's 94% from our program, so we're very proud of that. With our spring semester results of world studies, 2 of the 22 students we had from the fall were administratively withdrawn, leaving 20 students in the program for spring semester. 13 of those 20 passed and earned a full credit in the world studies program. That's 65%. 11 of the 20 are academically on track after year 1, after their freshman year. Of the 9 who are behind, 4 are within a credit of being on track, 2 are within 2.5 credits of being on track, and 3 are over a semester behind. But they did attend summer school. I want to just quickly highlight these students. Again, and just tracking this year to year. From an academic standpoint, the students passing world studies for spring semester has been somewhat erratic, going from 61% in the spring of '06 to 81% in spring '07 to 65% in the spring of '08. Obviously, these are different kids year to year. I do think that the teachers in that program cater to the students' strength, try to meet their needs as learners, create an environment where they can succeed, and then it's a choice that these students make. Overall credit accumulation and being on track entering their sophomore year has gone from 35% at the end of the 04-05 year to 61% in 05-06 to 72% 06-07 to 55% in 07-08. They continue to work with the school to community counselor who comes in to the program every week, and additionally he meets with these students on an individual basis. That continued this summer and will continue throughout the school year. If you recall, this past spring marked the 4-year tenure of the students who began the LIFT program. And of the 24 students who were participating in the original LIFT and World Studies programs when they commenced in the summer of 2004, 11 graduated with our traditional 24 credit high school diploma. That's 46%. 5 graduated with the adult education diploma, 21%, and 2 earned their GED, which was 8%. So 2 were outplaced over those last 3 years, 3 moved or transferred to another school district, and 1 dropped out of school. So 20 of the 24 students, 83% of this at-risk population, attained high school completion through the Londonderry School District. So we're very happy about that as well, and we know that that program is effective and is working. And now Greg will speak to GED in summer school.
Hello. Just to recap a little bit about the GED, I have to say thank you for supporting it and allowing us to run the GED program all through the summer, because in my short tenure that I've had so far as the director of the program, I've seen, what the tremendous advantage it has. We're the only testing center that runs all summer. We had people come from all over the state, from Rochester, Keene, Concord. So we averaged during July 1 to 3 individuals taking the GED per day. So any day I walked in the office in the morning, there were people waiting to take the GED. So it was great. And just to highlight real quickly that, from 2004 to 2007, 368 individuals have taken the GED. And this year, to date already, we're well over 100 individuals that have taken the GED. So, and much of that has been this summer. I don't know if I can stop after each component. That's the GED summary. And then
Go ahead.
On the GEDs, the diploma they receive, is it like a state of New Hampshire or
general equivalency
Londonderry?
diploma. It is actually a national organization that runs out of Washington, but it meets the basic competencies that an individual should.
I'm just wondering, because they take the test here, that doesn't indicate that.
Right. It all gets sent to, out I think that the scoring center is in Colorado, I believe. And
They don't get, per se, a Londonderry diploma. They
Right.
get
Yeah, it's just a GED.
GED certificate.
a certificate.
Right.
It's issued out of our testing center, so it's cited on the national site, and I'd have to check. on the
That's what
actual
that's what I
certificate,
mean. Is there's just some way that I'm just wondering if we're identified
though.
as.
I can get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I definitely will. I'll take a look at one of the diplomas that we send out. Not a problem. And summer school this summer, we offered 8 classes, obviously to help students with some credit recovery. Students may have had difficulty during the school year. 41 students enrolled, and we had 57 enrollment spots. So there were actually 57 students taking classes. Some took just one session, some took both sessions. And approximately, when we recruit for the program, about 1/3 of the students take us up on the suggestion that they attend summer school. So, and I don't have all the numbers in at this point in time, but Jay and I were talking in the back of the room a little bit quietly. That
You weren't paying attention to what was going on up here?
I was paying very
Okay.
close attention, and I can multitask. But
It
we
was
were just,
Jay, is that what you're saying?
excuse me.
It was Jay distracting you,
Yeah,
that's what you're saying?
I had to ask him to please be quiet.
Okay.
And he did. No,
Performance reviews are when?
October.
I think we had only 2 students attendance out of the program. So that's really, and I think only 1 student did not earn the credit. So it was a pretty successful summer, I'd say.
It's great.
And the LIFT program was also running this summer, which was my first experience with that program. And those are students that were, identified as at risk, coming up to the high school from 8th grade. And it's a program that I think is outstanding, having gone through the summer with watching what goes on. We had met with parents in May. All the parents that attended signed their children up. We ended up having 19 students of the 43 that were initially identified enroll in the program. And 84% of those students persevered through the program and received anywhere from a half credit to 1 full credit. which they'll be able to apply to. They also got oriented to the building, you know, just got to know some of the kids, got the other kids, let them just kind of be themselves. They did some great things. Steve Irucci and Lori Kippenberger do a wonderful job with that program. Nothing but great things. They ended it with a trip to Mount Monadnock, which went really well, and you could just see the difference in the children, students, I should say, the growth over where they were, you know, just a little shy, apprehensive, not as jovial, and then at the end, you could just tell that there was a big difference there. They feel a lot more comfortable about coming to the high school, which was what we were hoping to achieve. And we also, at the same time, were running the Alvern Farm program, which there were 6 students involved in that, and that had great success this year. And all the students made it through the program. And Alvern's wonderful about, you know, working with the kids, accommodating. If someone misses some time and they need to make up the time, the supervisor over there would have them come over and you know, make up that time with them, and the students followed through with it. So they obviously value the program, and many asked if they could come back again next year to do it. So that's my update.
We welcome any questions on the alternative educational services that were offered.
Jay, I just want to go back
Yep.
for a second to that absenteeism, because you're right. I mean, it's something that we talk about every year. Do you have a sense for why the kids are missing school? I mean, is it their work schedules? Is it, you know, there's no babysitting? Is it other obligations that they've got, or is it they just don't show up?
To be honest, because we make the phone calls home just like we would in day school. If they're not there and we don't know why, we're calling home or we're following up with them the next time we see them. And for whatever reason, and we've talked about this, that because the state requires a certain amount of seat time and we build in that time for them, if they reach their 3rd absence, they're out of the program. So for whatever reason, some see it as that means I get 2 free days to miss, and then if I reach the 3rd, I'm out. So they may, and we've talked about this, that they'll go to a concert one night, and then they'll actually get sick towards the end, and it puts them in a bind, it puts us in a bind. It's like, I'm sorry. They think they can make up the class, and the semester's over. It's
They
not like
can't.
we build in extra time for them, or and we really treat it, you know, just like we would a junior college, that these are young adults or adults that
Right. Yeah, no, and I
preparing to move on. So they put themselves in that situation, which we said, please do not see this as a free day to miss. You're missing a week's worth of class if you miss on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night. Most of them obviously have legitimate excuses, and we work around them. I mean, if they were in the hospital or something, we're going to find a way. But very few would have 3 legitimate excuses to miss out of 15 weeks.
now, is that our policy? Did you say the three absences? Or
It
that a
is,
state
but it's
policy?
consistent with the seat time that's required at the state level and consistent with other programs.
Is it worth us? Is it worth it to us to change that policy to none, unless they run through you or Greg, and then you can eliminate that 2
Right,
free
and we've
days?
talked about no, say, unexcused absences.
The only reason I bring it up is because it's consistent every time we see this. It's, you know, this group of kids who, for whatever reason,
Right.
you know, don't show up. And if they are looking at the 3 days as being, you know, those 2 freebies,
Right.
and they really do get sick, or, you know, they can't get out of their work schedule,
Correct.
or whatever, you know, if we went to none and they had to, you know, pass it through you,
Mhm.
you know, whether it's doctor's notes or, you know, you'd eliminate the concert issues and
Correct. I
that
think
kind of
that
thing. I don't know.
the attendance piece would go up. You'd see more people, unfortunately, be administratively withdrawn from the program if they were to miss, and maybe that would be the growing pains that they'd have going through a semester where they could try it again next.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but
I
if
know.
that's the consistent problem, I'd like to see us try to, you know, address it somehow. I don't know. Like I said, you know, if it was babysitting, we could deal with that.
Right.
If it was, you know, work schedules, we could probably deal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, deal with that. Just not showing up is something else.
And
so.
some are even just tardies that add up, because we factor those in. You come in late and you're
Yeah.
late for 15 minutes, 3 weeks in a row. Boom, there's an absence that you've now forfeited. So we are, the nice thing about the program is we have a relationship with every single student, and we're talking to
Yeah,
them, and
I
we're
mean,
on them about it. And most of them are very honest, and life does get in the way. So we recognize that.
I mean, the 3.5 years that I've been sitting here, you know, it's just been tremendous.
I can
mean,
speak
you
to the
know,
2
it's just
students
been
that
great.
did, you know, absence out, and the 2 of them really absenced out very early in the program. I mean, in the summer school, and probably within the first week, we knew. They didn't even show up for the first day. It's like,
some kids are just not.
so, offer them a couple other options that they have, and one of them didn't even follow through with that. So sometimes those are the ones that just aren't.
Yeah, I mean, we as much as I'd love to say we can help them all and catch them all, they're adults,
Right.
and, they make decisions.
And we do have a conversation with them.
Oh, yeah, I have no doubt.
Right.
But if you guys come up with something that you think we can help with by
Okay.
changing something, please let us know.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Steve?
Tell me about the farm program, what the students get to do.
They do a variety of activities in the farm program. They work with the livestock in the corral. I'm smiling because we did have one incident where a young lady turned her back and a aggressive cow decided to tip her instead of doing some cow tipping in the other way. But that was... So they do work with the livestock. They'll do some shoveling. I mean, the farm activities. They'll do whatever really they need them to do. You may be able to speak.
Yeah,
about
I mean,
that
they've
as well.
also, the newest development has been working in the store and just selling some of the produce and learning that as far as the marketing end of farm management, which is nice. So it wasn't all about working on tractors or building fences or shoveling stalls.
Eggs,
It was
right, selling the eggs. How many eggs did we produce this week, and how many should we sell, and they
Wow.
do a lot of neat activities like that.
They have a relationship with Stonyfield Farm, and they talk about the organic yogurt, and so they learned a lot, I think.
Yeah, I went on the field trip to Stonyfield. That was nice.
It's one of the perks, is that it?
I visited just to make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to be doing, and it appeared that everyone was in order. So.
Oh, that was a
I
good
felt
recovery, Greg.
comfortable.
And
A
was
very
there
good
enough
recovery.
fruit in
I'm
each cup?
sorry I didn't bring any to Mr. Greenberg, but didn't know what flavor you liked.
Sean will tell you, it's blueberry.
Blueberry. Got that noted for next year.
Anything else? Gentlemen, thank you. Jay, I
Thank you
guess you're
very much.
staying, and
May I make a comment before we switch over to the NEAS?
absolutely.
I really want to take this opportunity to thank Mark, the elementary principals who take turns with the supervising, the teachers that participate in the elementary program, Andy and the teachers and Mark who put together a program on very, very short notice, and the work that Jay and Greg and the teachers did in summer school. If you look at everything in totality, and you look at where we are now as a high school and what our graduation rate is and what our dropout rate, I think it's testimony to the programs that we have been putting in place over the last 5-6 years. And I think it adds the summer school programs and the programs that we have after school, I think have made a significant impact on our overall program and in a very positive way for our students. So I want to thank you for providing those opportunities for our kids. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg.
I know you have.
Hey, didn't I see something else to congratulate Jay about?
Yes. Yes. Mr. Karen is a new daddy.
Principal here already? Oh.
Mr. Parent, the new parent.
I just kept all of Jim's awards. I left them in
Jay
the office.
just welcomed recently to his family his third son,
Yay.
Liam, is that correct?
Liam, that's correct.
And even better, he's moving to town.
And we're moving to town. Yeah.
Such a deal.
We are very excited to present an update on our NEASC accreditation, where we are. Paul's going to lead off, and I'm going to just hand out to members of the audience, the press, and members of the board the 7 standards in which we'll be evaluated on from our visiting committee in 2010.
Good evening.
Hi, Paul.
Jay and I would like to take this opportunity to make the community and the board aware of the New England Association of Schools and Colleges visit to Londonderry High School in 2010 for accreditation. Every 10 years, a visiting committee from NEASC visits Londonderry High School to evaluate what the high school does. They're responsible for ensuring Londonderry High School and over 2,000 other schools and colleges in New England are utilizing the principles behind best practice. Their mission is to maximize student learning and to promote the standards which articulate best practices about student learning. The last time NEASC visited was 2000. NEASC will be arriving in 2010, but work has already been underway. Currently, Londonderry High School is in the self-study phase as we prepare for the visitation committee. This phase requires us to focus and reflect on exactly what we do and how that applies to one of the 7 standards, which Jay just passed out. The self-study engages the entire educational community in structured analysis, self-reflection, and planning in response to those 7 standards. Last year, a committee was formed around the first standard, mission and expectations for student learning. This committee was made up with LHS staff, administration, parents, students, and school board member Steve Young. As a committee, we examined and reflected on our school and our existing mission statement. We needed to create a new mission statement for Londonderry High School that reflected the essence of what the school as a community of learners is trying to achieve. Once we came up with the mission statement, we then needed to define school-wide academic, civic, and social expectations that were measurable and reflected the school's mission. After a year-long process and final approval by the faculty, we'd like to share with the community and the board our mission statement expectations. This mission statement will serve as a driving force behind our school and the 6 remaining standards. You should find that in your packets. And the mission statement is as follows. Londonderry High School, in partnership with parents and the community, provides a safe and nurturing environment with varied opportunities promoting good character, academic excellence, and responsible citizenship necessary for future success in the global and local and global community. Student expectations, academic expectations. Students of Londonderry High School demonstrate literacy through reading, writing, thinking, and speaking effectively, apply critical thinking, research, and problem-solving skills to a changing world, function as self-directed learners in a variety of learning and working environments. Civic expectations. Members of Londonderry High School community demonstrate an awareness of their individual rights and responsibilities as contributing members of the larger community, exhibit school pride through support of school activities and involvement in community life, model ethical and lawful behavior as responsible and accountable citizens. Social expectations. Members of Londonderry High School community develop positive relationships, demonstrate tolerance, and respect diversity, interact cooperatively while working toward common objectives, promote personal wellness and the ability to make healthy choices. And this will be the driving force behind the 6 other standards.
So what we'll convey to our staff, to our school district, and to our community is that everything will be tied to the mission statement and expectations. Are we a mission-driven school? And that's what we're going to be evaluated on. We're part of the NEASC Association because we want to reflect on our practice. We want it to be a live document. The mission statement is already on placards, which will go in the classrooms, and it's our intent for the administration, for the teaching staff, and for the students to be able to look at this, understand it, see how it applies in everything they do, whether it's curriculum instruction assessment, the extracurricular and co-curricular activities that we're involved in. We want to take pride in what we do, obviously, and we want it to be reflected in our work. The reason we're excited about it is because it involves not just the high school. This is a community effort. And we've asked, and have been fortunate to have Steve as a board member on the first committee, along with some parents, some students, and the teaching staff. And we really painstakingly went through the wording to get a mission statement that we were proud of, something that really reflected what we're about and what we wanted. And we will do the same for the other 6 standards. In fact, and just to highlight the other 6 standards, there's curriculum, instruction, assessment of student learning, leadership and organization, school resources for learning, and community resources for learning. So we would invite the board to please participate with us. It'd be another liaison to another committee, but we'd really like your support if you could, and particularly in the areas of curriculum or instruction, and leadership and organization, and school resources for learning. Mr. Blunt has kindly volunteered his time and efforts and expertise with assessment, and Mr. Greenberg has volunteered his time for community resources for learning. So the packet that I handed out basically outlines the standards for accreditation. Thank you, Mr. Greenberg. Appreciate it. And we're really going to devote our attention to really reflecting on each of these areas, compiling evidence which shows that we are a good school and that we are doing the right things. And really, we welcome the visiting committee in 2010 because we want to for them to validate all the good things we do, and we also want to grow as a school and continue to improve. So I would welcome comments and feedback and their suggestions. As far as the timeline goes, we are a bit ahead of schedule. From March to June of '08, we had to finalize our selection of co-chairs and the steering committee, which we've done, and that is led by staff with a layer of support from administration, and as I mentioned before, the parents and students getting involved. So we welcome the community to do that. And to let you know, we channel information through student council, through the PTSO meetings. We will post it on the web. And again, anyone that wants to get involved is certainly welcome to do so. In May, the curriculum coordinators and I attended a self-study seminar. In June, we have submitted the application for evaluation. And we're going to begin drafting a budget for the self-study process and the visitation, which will come up, we believe, in the spring of 2010, though we haven't heard yet. August, so we're waiting to receive that letter. And in September, once we receive the accreditation packet, we will, we've assigned the committees already, and we'll begin to schedule a date for a fall 2008 visit by the Commissioner of Schools, so Commissioner of Education. And that's where we're at, essentially, in this process. But we are very excited. It is an awesome responsibility, and we will have a mountain of work ahead of us, but we're excited about this challenge and this opportunity to really reflect. And we welcome questions from the board.
Questions, comments?
Just a statement. The participation that I had in this, the thing that was the most impressive to me was the number of hours that was spent. I would estimate that it was 25 to 30 hours worth of meetings and discussions to create this one little piece of paper. As a small business owner, typically I probably would have cranked it out in 10 or 20 minutes. But what I saw was a collaboration effort between staff and administration, and most particularly students and parents, and a chance for the students to be in charge of the process. And they showed some real leadership. And I saw parents that appreciated the ability to be engaged in the process. As a matter of fact, it was difficult it took me quite a few meetings to determine which the ones were the parents. And everyone was engaged. I mean, these sentences, if you can imagine, one sentence would take more than one meeting to go over. So you're working on a sentence for an hour and a half because words mean things. And just simple things, such as the definition of citizen. Is it a citizen of the school, or is it a citizen of the community of Londonderry? And there are dual meanings there, but what was nice to see is oftentimes it focused on the community, the town of Londonderry, and being citizens of the entire community and the world. It was just a fascinating process to see 30 people or so go through this. And then 400 staff at a meeting crank through it in an hour and a half or so, and them being engaged in the process. It was just, it happened before my tenure, the last time they came through, and I think at that time we had an issue with the media center. It was when the cable studio was in the building, and I think there was a facilities issue. Didn't we have to move that, or we wouldn't get accreditation if there was some issue with that, but a much different process than I expected. So I signed up for it because it only happens once every 10 years or something. Figured I would have been gone by now. Thanks. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Right.
Good evening. And I think we have completed the agenda, so if somebody wants to
Well,
move
yeah,
to go to
unless
non-public.
now's a good time for Mrs. Ballard to answer those 15 questions we discussed.
Yeah, so you want to... Mrs. Ballard listens to everything that goes on.
Well, before we motion,
She knows.
before we motion the, does football start tomorrow? I heard that on television. Football training start tomorrow? Somebody shaking their head up and down, yep. Okay, so football starting tomorrow, and also band camp starts on Monday. So those of you parents out there that thought the summer would never end, It's not gonna be long.
Right.
Make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, Section 2, A through F.
Second.
Motion is second, roll call.
I, Steve Young.
Aye, John Robinson.
Hi, George Herman. Thank you. Have a good evening,
Just like the
folks.
planning board. If you're in this room, you're on the air.
In this room, you're on the air.